All right, hello, welcome everybody. I see some people that were here last week, which is really exciting. So every week at 5:30 on Tuesdays for the foreseeable future. We normally have faculty meetings on Tuesdays when I'm actually like going to school, so I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. We're gonna be talking about what I'm teaching this week. So it's a whole week because I have a really funky schedule where I teach the same class for a week. So I have like this week I have this person's second grade class every single day this week, and then next week I'll have a different second grade class. It makes a really funky schedule. It works out better than you would think. Actually, when I first heard that, I was like, that's a horrible idea, but it's actually been pretty okay. So that's why we're going for a whole week. So this week we're going to talk all about third grade. Last week we talked about the lessons I am doing and currently still doing with my 4th and 5th graders. And so yeah, let's jump into third grade. So as far as third grade goes, oh, and by the way, we are completely virtual. So there's that. And now, full disclosure, my third graders this week, we had like a scheduling issue. Like we got a new schedule and it was all sorts of wrong. So I actually haven't seen them yet. Yesterday I thought we got everything figured out and then they didn't show up again. So, but last week with my third graders, this is what we were doing. So we're doing a lot of like beginning of the school stuff, rhythm review, and ocean themed songs. This lesson set I'm the most excited about because it's the most like what we normally do on the first week of school with my third graders. So that's exciting. So let's get right in. All right, so third grade logs on. I have that same Google Slides thing going that I told you about last week. So for each of my classes, we have a little slideshow that I do each day. And I must say, it has been a game changer. It just has like the first slide, it tells us our I can statements and has a little video to play at the beginning and tells what time school starts. And then I just have all of the everything that we need in a row so that I know where everything is, and I like put the videos in there. So if we need a video or if we need audio or if we need anything, then it is in there. So that is, I will say, 2 weeks in a row, still loving it. So first off, they come in obviously, and we get started with the same movement activity that 4th and 5th grade did. So if you missed it, all we do is I hold up a little stick figure and they see if they can match my little person, and we just go through each one. And then I've been playing a backing track from Little Kids Rock, so it's just like a beat going, and we do, yes, I do that on Google Slides. So I have like a set for the whole week, and then I'll make new ones for next time, and I just add everything in there. Game changer. So we just go through with the backing track, and I move it every 4 beats, and then I switch it to every 2, which is really fast. And so they're usually like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And then I switch it back to 4 because I'm nice and I want them to come back tomorrow. So we do that. It's just a really fun, easy warm-up activity that we do. And then we go over all of the rules, of course, because first week of school. So I have a little slide in my Google Slides for that. And the first thing is we have the same 4 rules as normal, which is follow directions, be respectful, be responsible, and be a participant. And I have like the rhythms notated out, so we like clap each of them. Same thing we do in class, which is great. I like when it's the same thing we do normally, even though things are super weird right now. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed the webinar. That's awesome. All right, so next up we look at more specific like distance learning rules. So I got this poster for free on TBT. You can just search like Zoom rules or virtual learning rules or whatever, and it was very helpful. And it just says like, be on time, be respectful, sound on mute, turn your video off if you need to get up, because if you have been online and you see the kids get up to move to a different spot and they're holding their cameras and it's like, and it makes you sick. Yeah, that's not fun. Stay in one place, and then don't take pictures of the meeting, which I haven't really had any issues with that, but there we are. Someone asked, do I have the warm-up directions on templates on TPT? This is on Teachers Pay Teachers. I don't have the Google Slides on Teachers Pay Teachers, but if you would be interested, I can totally put them up and probably just make them free because they're easy. So they can just be like the templates. I'll do that at some point. Hopefully this week, but I make no promises. All right, so then we do the same activity that 4th and 5th grade did because it's the first day I've seen them, and it's the stand up, sit down. So I just have these little slides that I made for them. And so the top one says stand up if, and the next one says sit down if. And so I can see visually where they fall. So the first ones are just like, do you have a brother? Do you have a pet? Which is great because then I can usually show them my dogs, because my dogs are usually hanging out in the classroom and they just think that's the greatest thing ever. The classroom. In my office. And so we go through there, and then it has more specific things like, do you like hip hop? Do you like rap? Do you like pop music? Do you like instruments? Do you like to sing? Do you like to dance? Those kind of things really help me, because if I can see like, oh, everybody loves dancing, then we're gonna do a lot more dancing. So that's really helpful. And just little things like that. And then we are singing the song, Did You Ever See a Lassie? So this one I've never done before, but it has been a hit so far. So far so good. And it's a Scottish folk song. If you don't know how it goes, did you ever see a lassie, a lassie, a lassie? Did you ever see a lassie go this way and that, go this way and that way and this way and that way? Did you ever see a lassie go this way and that? So that one's really fun. And what we've been doing, normally you do it as like a circle game. So everyone's like in a circle and you go in a circle, and then on the this way and that way and this way and that way part, you have one kid like show the action for everyone to do. So to accommodate it for virtual learning, what we've been doing is singing it, and on the first part we sway back and forth, and then when we get to the this way and that way and this way and that way and that part, then I do have a kid pick the actions that we're gonna do. Usually I pick them the first couple of times so that they have a couple of options in their head to what they can pick when it's their turn, and then we go through that, and they've been loving that so far. They just thought that was the greatest thing ever. And then it also lets me teach them a couple of things, like we look at where Scotland is on the map, and we also look at like how you can use lassie for girl and laddie as boy, and that just gives them a little more vocabulary that they may not have known otherwise, which is really great. So we like vocabulary. And that's pretty much it for day one. On day two, we start with Did You Ever See a Lassie? And this time I pick a lot more kids to pick the actions that we're going to do. After that, we do a quick little rhythm review. So we have been just looking at the rhythms the way that we call them. So I don't tell them the real names yet. We're like building up to that. So we have ta and titi, rest, and then ta for our half note. We usually call that long or long note or whatever. And then we go over the song Seashell. So this one, hey Janelle, this one goes, seashell, seashell, sing a song to me. Sing about the ocean, sing about the sea. And then you sing it through twice. So I like this song. It's really simple and it's really fun, and it has that half note at the end of each line, which is helpful. So I just made like a little picture graph with all the rhythms, with the shells being different size, so that you can see kind of like what's larger rhythms, smaller rhythms. And then I have them take their hands and we clap it, and on those long notes we do this. This is our half note. So we go, seashell, seashell, sing a song to me. Sing about the ocean, sing about the sea. Because half note is something I hit really hard in second grade. So first off, in third grade, we're trying to really get that figured out. And then since they did learn that, I do show them the real rhythms, and we play it through with the real rhythms as well. And we do that just really quickly. And then I go back to the stand-up, sit-down activity we did yesterday, and I have them turn in a Google Forms version. So what I did is I made that in Keynote, which is basically PowerPoint, but on my Mac I don't have PowerPoint, but Keynote came free, so I was like, let's try this out. So it's just a Keynote, and I just made that, and then I saved everything as pictures, which is how I inserted it into my Google Slides. And then I also inserted those same pictures into a Google Forms activity so that they could actually turn them into me, and I could look and see, okay, this many kids said they like singing, this many kids said they like to dance, and those things just really help me. And then I also add on there your favorite song and what you like about music, what you don't like about music, and just anything you want to tell me. And they always have the most interesting things. If you say, is there anything you want to tell me? Weirdest things. Although I must say, so far my favorite song has been, you know, I've gotten like all sorts of different answers, and most of them I expected, but I got one kid said that their favorite song was This Christmas. And I was like, you my kind of kid. All right. Like, it's August, but well, now it's September, but that was in August. So that was just really fun. And while they're doing that, I play the song Getting to Know You from The King and I, just because I think it's so cute and it just so matches what we do. And also I can't stand the silence when like they're working on something and I'm just sitting there like staring at the screen, not doing anything. I just can't handle it. So I put that on and that helps out a little bit. So that is Monday, that is Tuesday. We don't have classes on Wednesday because we have, do you hear the cars? They're so loud, sorry. We don't have classes on Wednesday, that's like e-learning day. And so we don't have live classes. Students are just supposed to work on activities that they already have. So when they come back on a Friday, we always start with movement every single time. So if you haven't caught on to that, I'm trying to wave to you, glass globe piano teacher. There we go. Oh, I pressed it like 4 times and it would not go. So what we do for this one is, I'm gonna preface this with, I thought that they would be too cool for this, but they thought it was amazing. So all I did is I showed them these rhythm cards that have different animals on them, and I asked them, how would this animal move? Show me, how would this animal move? And we'd get like a couple different options. So for the whale, I had kids like laying on the floor and they're like moving their arms. And then we had like the hermit crab, they're like walking around with their little fingers, and the crab, they're dancing around like this. It was so funny. There was like a jellyfish, and so they started doing like this little number, and we had a stingray, so they're all like oh my god, it was so funny. Again, I thought they were gonna be too old for it because they're in 3rd grade, but they just thought it was great and it was hilarious to watch, I must admit. So then after that, we go over the song Charlie Over the Ocean, which is one of my favorites. And this is really simple because it's just an echo song. So this picture is from the PowerPoint that I do have on Teachers Pay Teachers. I have like a whole pack with the song and how to play the game, which we couldn't play because it's like a words, duck, duck, goose. It's a duck, duck, goose game. And so we obviously can't play that, but it's okay. And there's some other stuff in there. So that is available on Teachers Pay Teachers if you're interested. We didn't do it exactly like that. We just sing the song, and it is an echo song. So it just goes, Charlie over the ocean, Charlie over the ocean, Charlie over the sea, Charlie over the sea. Charlie caught a blackbird, Charlie caught a blackbird, can't catch me, can't catch me. So we go through that, and then I always ask them the same, is a blackbird an ocean animal? And they're like, no. And I'm like, oh, cool. So this time we're going to pick a different animal, and when we get to Charlie caught a whatever, we're gonna go through whatever animal is on our little rhythm cards. So I pull out a rhythm card, so we got a hermit crab. So this time we sing, Charlie caught a hermit crab, Charlie caught a hermit crab, can't catch me, can't catch me. And they have to do whatever action that animal would do. So on the hermit crab, they have to make whatever action the hermit crab would make, you know, so they're all like, Charlie caught a stingray. It's hilarious, but so much fun, and it gets so much of their wiggles out and like gets their imagination flowing. It's great. It's great. I gotta say, try it with your 3rd graders. If you think your 3rd graders are too cool, try it anyway, because they might just love it anyway. So we go over those, and then we go through a couple of rhythm cards. I picked up the wrong ones. These are 16th notes. We go over the half notes because they haven't learned these yet, but we go over some rhythm cards to play. I have been having them, I say, okay, go find something you can use like a drum that's not gonna break. And so I show them some examples. So I pull out like my box, and I'm like, you know, I could use this box and I could bang on it, or I could use a book and I can hit a book, and that'll be kind of like a drum sound, but it's not gonna break. And I give them like 30 seconds to go find something, and they come back with spoons and pencils and boxes, and it's kind of hilarious but kind of great. And that's how we play our rhythms, is I'll play them, they'll play them after on their drums, whatever they're using for drums. And then we read the book. There was an old lady, no, there was an old mermaid who swallowed a shark, which is super, super cute. I think I set it down somewhere, so I'm not 100% sure where I put it. I'm still working on the whole organizing my classroom, since it's not really a classroom. So I think I set it down somewhere, but it's really cute. It's one of the old lady books where they like swallow all the different things, and it's all sea creatures for this one. So we go through that, and then I show them, I think I have it in here. Do I have it in here? I should have checked. And then I show them the Google Slides activity that I have that goes along with that. Okay, so then we go through this Google Slides activity when it loads. And we just do this on the screen. So it goes along with the, oops. Okay. It goes along with the book, and it has each of the creatures that is in the book, and it shows, it says like there was no lady who swallowed a, and then whatever the animal is, and then we pick whatever the rhythm that matches that animal is. So like squid would be one syllable, so we're gonna go heads up. Apparently this doesn't work on the iPad. It does work on the computer though, so I show it to them on the computer. That's embarrassing because I did use this yesterday and it did work, I promise. It's, yeah, okay. So you click on the answer and it will go to a slide that either says that's correct or that's wrong. Do it on the computer, don't do it on your iPad, apparently. There's a few things that are just a little weirder on the iPad, we're finding out. I will double check that too, but I promise I just used it and it worked. So we go through that and just so that we can go through all of the different rhythms, remember them, those kind of things. Then on Friday, we go over Charlie Over the Ocean for the final time. We go back to our seashell, seashell, sing a song to me, sing about the ocean, sing about the sea. And then we do There Was an Old Mermaid as a Google Forms activity. So it is pretty much this exact same activity, but where they can turn it in. So it says there was an old lady who swallowed a, and there's a picture, and there's the three options, half note, two quarter notes, or 2 sets of eighth notes, and they just go through and click which rhythm each of the animals would be. So like shark would be a half note, tropical fish would be 2 sets of eighth notes, and all of those things. And both of these are available in my TPT shop in regular notation and in stick notation, just a heads up. So I have them do that so that I can see who is starting to understand the rhythms, who doesn't remember anything, because I haven't seen them since March, and that's a really long time as that we're trying to make up for. So that just kind of helps me get all of that figured out. And the very last thing we do is freeze dance, because I decided that from now until whenever we go back to school, we're gonna have Friday freeze dance because it's fun. So that's all I have to say about that. And that is all of my 3rd grade lessons for the week. So for a normal rotation, that would be Monday, Tuesday, that would be like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 of like a month. Because mine is super funky, it's a week. It's all good. That is everything I'm teaching my 3rd grade. So again, I'm going to post as soon as I get off of here. Oh, if you have any questions, go ahead and start typing them while I do my spiel. That way I'll be able to answer them when we get back. So if you want to like see any of the links or look at any of the things that I talked about today, it's going to be on the YouTube replay, which I will be putting up like as soon as we get off of here. I'm gonna go change my clothes because I'm like boiling hot and I just need a t-shirt. And then I'm going to go and put this up on YouTube. So it will be up late tonight or early tomorrow, and it'll have like all the links to everything I talked about, the books and the different activities and all the things. And that'll be up at latest tomorrow, so you can check it out then. Also, last week we talked about what I did with and am doing with 4th and 5th grade. So if you missed that, you can see that one on YouTube. And next week we're going to be talking about 2nd, because we're going down, and I'm really excited about my 2nd grade lessons. Which, if you've been around for a while, you might remember that 2nd grade tends to be my least favorite of all the grades, but so far I'm liking them. It might be because I can turn them on mute, I have to admit, but I'm really excited about my 2nd grade lessons, so I'm really excited to share them with you. So if you have any questions, type them in the chat, and if not, then I will see you guys next week on Tuesday at 5:30.